Oh, no one can hear me anyway. I was just talking about how rude and gross I'm going to be eating the microphone. The microphone wasn't on. I shan't disappoint. Okay. Alright. We got stuff to do. We got missions in process. Ooh, stuff to do. Carmen to save. Let's see. 2 retrieval units. They're coming up on their moon orbits here. Their moon intercepts. Wow. So, yeah. It's a very unconvincing amount of time warp. Where's the hat? It's a good question. I don't know where I put it. A little bit of a late start. If you can't tell by me rudely eating in the middle of a stream. It's multitasking, that's all. This is such an unconvincing amount of time warp. It needs more time warp. So our 2 retrieval units on their way. I've got 2 capsules, Cambos and New Seas over here. And I'm going to be hopefully grabbing those, pulling the capsules back to the Mun station, EVAing them over and removing the space trash. A minute. The one I launched second, an hour and 13 minutes. Hour and 44 minutes. So this one's actually going to hit its periaps first, even though I launched this one. I launched this one second. That was interesting. All right, got some follow on this one. And start planning the maneuver. If I actually fly it. All right. Still seems totally doable with the remainder of the booster that I have. My God, quite a bit of it is doable with that stage. So, all right, that's cool. Didn't think I had that much fuel left in that stage. What I'm going to bring it to a slightly... Oopsie. Do that, please. A slightly negative perigee. So that the booster smashes into Mun. I guess I don't actually have to do that now that I think about it, because it's got has the retro rockets, doesn't it? It does. Marvelous. Alright. So I'm going to delete this entirely. And we're going to go... Newski's is going in the reverse, which is going to better suit this one. So I'm going to just go ahead and aim now. Cambo's capsule. Get the hat? I could. I might do that very soon. I just gotta figure out what on earth I did with it. I'm glad it's becoming a trademark of the stream. That makes me happy. Alright, so we are really able to do quite a bit of maneuvering with this. I can time this radially to be a pretty good intercept, probably. Well, actually, that does look pretty good, doesn't it? Wow. I don't know why that went away there. Shouldn't that not have gone away? Wow. I mean, I don't have to get this perfect right away, because I'm going to still have fuel in this to do other maneuvering. That looks pretty darn close. Pretty happy about this. This be a good cheaty way to get going. Not really cheaty, just getting way more out of this than I thought I would. Why am I doing that? I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's warp to the maneuver. Say it's an 8-second maneuver. Plenty of time. Should be roughly retrograde. So I'm going to start there. Alright. This is going to be good. Oop, stability assist. There we go. Get us the rest of the way there. Almost there. Scarfing down food while I should be focusing on the maneuver. So 4 seconds away from the maneuver. I'll hit full throttle. Beautiful. A little more correction. All right. Close out that maneuver. At the ascending node, I can plan out the next maneuver. Okay, change our timing a little bit. Not bad. Not too far. It's like jumping. That's weird. 0.7's pretty close though. 0.5. 0.4. Nope, too far. I like to point 4. Let's go back for point 4. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. I start planning the maneuver this guy. And yes, I might get the hat. I might get the hat if it's becoming a thing. Which it is. Helps with the amount of glare on my face. These ridiculous bulbs that I bought. Alright, now this one. So it's a while to Perigee. So planning its maneuver. Now this one I'm going to want to go just ridiculously berserk with this maneuver. We're going to literally... There we go. We're going to burn this all the way to retrograde. What's beautiful about that is we're inevitably going to burn through the booster in its point where it's going to descend to Mun. Don't know why I did that. That was maybe the wrong thing to do. I'm going to do this. We're timing a little better. There we go, and we'll fix that a little bit later when we get to the descending node. That already looks pretty good. We'll get that one going. One thing I will do, take these separatrons off the stage so it will separate without messing up its Mooner, well, I don't know what to call it, Mooner impact, I guess. Booster signal. I like that we didn't even need all these extra antennas, though we might when we ditch this booster, which has one on it. But you know what? I'm going to go get the hat. Forget it. Might as well. We can just deal with a nice shot of the incoming probe to the moon. Found it. We're good. We are good. There we are. How could I not? How could I not have the hat? Now. It's good beer. Maneuver time. Very retrograde is what that is. 27-second maneuver. This is going to be a long one. Thankfully in moon orbit, it's much easier to do these crazy maneuvers. This is not the way you'd want to do this. I should have planned it out so I came around the other side of the moon. Higher orbit. That would have been the smart thing to do, however, it is not what I did. Said we're going to come to a full stall. completely negate our speed. Alright. So 27-second burn. Wait for 14 seconds away from the start of the maneuver. Just with the staging last minute there. It's going to be one of the weirdest maneuvers I've done. That is cool. Oop, okay. So that'll smash into the moon with no debris to be concerned with. We're back in orbit. That overshot it a little bit. Overdid it. Mild correction. Bingo. There we are. That is a thing of beauty. Now at the ascending node, so we're in a retrograde orbit. Let's add a maneuver. Wow, that maneuver node's lying to me, isn't it? It's not positive at all, it's negative. Well, I guess because it's going opposite way around, maybe? Oop, 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 oop. Oh, no, that's good. Just tracking the wrong maneuver. Wow, that really just say 0.0. It had it for a second. Oop, nope, too much. Too much. There's that sweet rendezvous that we are looking for. 0.6. Okay. What's going to be the major difference here? It's going to be just a little too much of an inclination change. It's a little better. Change the timing a little bit. 0.2 is very good. I'm going to go with that maneuver. And that one's going to come up much faster than the other retrieval unit's maneuver. So, 1 hour, 21 minutes. We're going to go right to it. Look at our station just fly around the moon there. It is going fast. So we're going to get ourselves aimed at the maneuver. Warp most of the way there. Mostly inclination change at this point. Just a tiny bit of timing change. It's 1 second away from the maneuver. Or I could cut this down to 50% thrust and do a 4-second burn, which I always find easier to control. I'm gonna go with it. Doing Kerman rescues around the moon. Boom. It's actually pretty good. Tiny bit of correction. The most I can correct it without messing it up. Control intersect is at 0.7. It's mostly a radial difference. I could probably just BS it a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly radial change. Let's do a little radial change then. Ooh. Okay, everything just got kind of weird. Point 2. Nice. Now we're going the way we're supposed to go. And when's this one's maneuver coming up? One hour, 36 minutes. Check when this one is actually going to rendezvous. If it's an hour 36 or less, then this one goes first. So let's see. 51 minutes. Yeah, this one's definitely going to rendezvous first. We're only going to have 84.3 meters a second of speed difference with our target. Which isn't that much. It sounds like a lot. But it's really not. Okay, aim retrograde to target. Set a node just for timing, just so we know where our closest approach is, how long we can expect to wait to have to burn. 84.3 meters a second. I think that means I need to give this a... I feel like I'm gonna do this wrong. I feel like it's gonna be like a 3-second burn. I could just be totally wrong. It might actually be a 6-second burn. There I am ballparking numbers. Okay, it does seem like we're going a lot faster than I anticipated. So right here. Score 1 for eyeballing. Alright. Alright. It worked out pretty good. Let's get rid of that maneuver. No longer need that. Let's just approach casually. Just fly casual. Arm the grabber. Just enough time to make this and then switch over to the maneuver on our other retrieval unit. We can start worrying about getting everything back to Valentina Kerman Station. Gone are the days when we leave stranded capsules in space. And this has no RCS on it, so I just need to do this perfectly. Which, I mean, is looking pretty good. Not gonna lie. Iffy. Little iffy. I'll probably let that go and then grab it and get that a little better. But that's cool. Just get the solar panel facing the sun. And let's switch over to our other retrieval unit, go to its maneuver, and try to do the same thing. Wow, this one still has like 43 minutes till its maneuver. I was rushing for no reason. Okay. Now the question on this other one, I'm going to have to now go completely retrograde flip again. Let's release. Okay. Releasing is good. Let's get a more dead on. Can I not aim? Come on. No, that's not what I want to grab. Okay. So just target. Yep. Okay, now. Dead on again. So I'm going to take my time a little bit. Using just the thruster to correct our trajectory. So that we're heading dead on. I want this to be as centered as possible on the grabber, so it'll be easier to maneuver. I think I bumped it without grabbing it. That's odd. So let's just do a little bit of correction. There we go. Now we're really close to it. Grabby. Or don't grabby. Okay. Can I rearm it? Is that the problem? Okay. I'm directly at it again. Mine. Thank you. Oh, good. And that time I left the hatch unobstructed. So now that's more like it. This should be much easier to control. So now what we need to do is we need to maneuver this to the station. In order to do that, we need to go completely the opposite of our current orbit. Hopefully not run out of fuel in the process. That is looking good. Right there. Look at that maneuver. That's what we need. So most of that's probably going to be inclination change. This is actually what it looks like. You can do that last minute, as the descending node is fairly close to it. But I got a 1 minute 12-second burn time. I'm coming up on the maneuver. So we're going to aim for the maneuver. Which doesn't really look right, does it? Oh. Oh. Control from here, please. That's why. It's trying to have me control from the capsule. It's a good thing I questioned that. So we should pretty much be at the burn. I'm gonna wait a little longer, just because we're gonna be going the other way, so it's not really gonna be centering the burn like we normally would. It's gonna be like a quarter burn, and then the rest of it the other way. So I'm gonna wait just a little longer. This looks like probably enough. Flying pretty steady considering it's holding that capsule at the front. Here we are, re-accelerating. Don't know why I was worried about fuel. We apparently have a ton of fuel. It's a light correction. Splendid. All right. That was some totally bonkers maneuvering. timing's going to be off, so I need to fix that with some radial burns. I think right here should do. Yep. Get our timing corrected. Okay, that's the best we can do there. Then at descending node, we'll want to raise that up. Further adjust our timing. Actually looks pretty good. A bit more that way. A little bit more timing correction. There we go, 0.2. I like 0.2. Alright, that is now 40 minutes away. Isn't it? 38 minutes away. Alright. What about this one? This one's 36 minutes away. That one was 38 minutes away. Burn time reads as a 0. It's cut down the thruster quite a bit. Even at 10% thrust, it's telling me it's a 2-second burn. So let's warp to that maneuver. Carefully watching this other one here. Sure my my timing that I think I have is correct, because these maneuvers are going to be close. We're arriving on the same orbit of the station. Ooh, they're going to be really close, aren't they? Somehow this always ends up being the case where I'm attempting to do 2 rendezvous at the same time with this station. So 1 second to maneuver. Okay, my cat is opening cabinets. That's new. Alright. I don't know why I'm not time warping. I can get a little closer. Or actually, this one's not going for the station. This one's going for one of the other crafts, so I guess the timing's not going to be that close. We got 0.7 intersect. That's good enough for the moment. Nuces is the one that's going to be going to the station. I'm getting ahead of myself for the other capsule. There we go. We got just 2 minutes till maneuver. 7-second burn. At full throttle. I can already see the Valentina Memorial Station. I'm just going to do a quick thing. Even though I usually don't revert at all. By usually don't, I mean I just like never do unless there's a huge glitch in the game. Valentina Kerman Station is cursed and seems to get a lot of really weird, crazy glitches that shouldn't happen. So I'm going to save it just in case. I won't consider it cheating for my own sake if it's caused by a very rampant bug. I almost did really screw up though on my own. Last night I did manage to ram the station pretty hard. I just managed to not blow anything up, though, somehow. That I would have been stuck with. Excellent. Alright, so get rid of the maneuver. Real intercept is at 0.2, which is coming up in 1 minute, 59 seconds. We have 127 meters a second of relative delta V. Okay, so that last time took like 5 seconds of burning. So this should take 1.5 that. Should take about 8 seconds of burning, maybe. Roughly. Last time I just eyeballed it. So we're going to go retrograde to target. It's one handy probe body. This thing is doing very well. Cheap and effective. Getting there. Okay, this is where I should be burning. Alright, just got a little bit to cancel out. Directly at the station. Don't need to get too close to it. I don't need to try and dock or anything fancy. Just want to get close enough that I can EVA Nusi out. Get him over to the transfer vehicle. And then we'll deorbit this capsule and grab her. Since it seems the other one's probably going to have a lot more fuel to try and take care of the third capsule I already rescued a Kerman from. Although I will, I think, leave this in orbit for the moment until I decide that for sure. Because it might be that the approach is more convenient from this one if it does have enough fuel. Not that I could grab 2 capsules anyway, but... There's that maneuver. I don't need that anymore. Alright. Station's looking good. No worse for the wear from yesterday's collision. And plus we got our first manned station-launched landing yesterday. That was pretty cool. Make sure he actually has EVA propellant. He does. Go. Off you go, Nusi. Nusi's gonna go join our crew over here. Don't hit the solar panel. Okay. As I'm saying, don't bump your head on the solar panel. Bumps his head on the solar panel. Okay, lights on. Actually see what's going on around here. There we go. I was looking at the station upside down. Silly me, I had it in reverse. Alright. He is... Bingo. Safely aboard. So, we'll grab, new C. Transfer him to the passenger module. So I still have one more rescue to do. I'll leave our little capsule just off the station for the moment. The retrieval unit's looking good. Very nice. This went smoother than I expected. Shouldn't say that. I'm gonna jinx it. See if I can't do just a little bit of last second correction. Make this a little easier. Timing is what seems to be the major issue. So, once again, radial change is how we want to do this. I'm going to just quickly check each of these. See if I'm making it worse or better. This one's making it better. A little bit anyway. Just a little more the opposite direction. Should be getting near the last of the fuel on this stage anyway. Yeah, it's going to be the best we can get for the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to aim prograde. Oh, this was a bad idea. I just realized that. Booster's not going to necessarily deorbit when I'm at perigee, this far away from it. I don't know if this booster's going to have enough energy to deorbit itself. So we'll just aim retrograde to target. We'll see how much we can get out of this thing. Since we got to lower our orbit anyway, that definitely will get us in a point where it will deorbit itself. What's our relative speed going to be at intercept? 189.3 meters a second. That's not too bad. Should be pretty doable. Just to be safe. Pump just a little extra fuel in here. Just to make sure we have enough for that maneuver. And then I can pump any excess back in. Back up to full throttle. Pretty sure 189 meters a second. So I'm going to try and do a retrograde 189 meters a second. I just want to see how many seconds it thinks it's going to take. About 4 seconds. So I'm going to add a maneuver. So at about 2 seconds from our intercept, I'm going to burn full throttle, retrograde to target. Not bad that our launcher is getting us all the way to the rendezvous around the moon. It's not... It's not the original design intent for the booster to be able to handle all that. It's kind of remarkable. Alright, we're approaching it fast. Let's get a little closer. Let our craft steer itself. That retrograde burn. So at 2 seconds to closest intersect, we are going to start burning. Does look like we're going to overshoot at the moment. But I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust numbers. Where is it? Not bad. Not bad at all. Throttle it way down. And we're just going to do a quick correction burn. Oh, that is beautiful. Still very much a different inclination. I don't know how that ended up being, but it's fine. Pump the fuel back up into the Oscar B tank here. Finally dispose of this booster. Okay. Go orbit, aim prograde. Off it goes. Gonna deorbit itself. Now. Stability assist. Thank you. Back to target aiming. Haven't activated it. Let's approach it at a decent speed. And then once we get both rescues over to the station, we'll launch the transfer vehicle back to Kerbin, to dock with the Kerbin station, along with all the science we got in yesterday's mission. The science will go into the science lab in orbit, and then the crew of 3 will take one of the spare capsules down from the station to Kerbin's surface. Just minimal waste is what we're going for. Minimal waste and no trash in space. Those are the 2 things we want. What is this? Oh, this is like the it's like the Mark 1 command pod. Not command pod, the Mark 1 cockpit. That's what it is. All right. I'm going to arm this. I'm not going to try and do an immediate grab here because I think I need to aim just a little off, actually. Maybe not. Maybe I'm okay. Thrust is gentle enough on this that I can kind of aim it however I please. There we go. Well, that was kind of bleh. It's kind of iffy. SAS back on. Control it from here. Yeah, it should do fine. Center of mass should be close enough, I think. It is a little off. I like that's got the airplane symbol now. That's kind of cool. So we now want to rendezvous with the station. Not Newski's capsule, please. Not Newski's capsule, please. Nope, almost had it. Nope, 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 nope. Station, please. Station, station, okay. Simple solution. There we go. We are in very poor position. to get back to the station. That stinks. We're going to basically have to catch up to it going all the way around. Should be safe at our orbit, though. That shouldn't be a problem. We can plan the ascending node change here just to get us back into a proper inclination with the station. Oh, I just made it worse. It's ascending, so we need to come down. Alright, so we got that maneuver coming up. Let's do that one. I'm gonna just do this as a very slow burn. I'm really not sure how much stability assist is going to help with this very lopsided payload. Easy does it. Fairly easy to control, actually. Not bad. Now have his perfect inclination relative to the station. Awesome. Now Tomler's derelict is still there. And it is going to be in a very inconvenient position for our, Alright, let's just go ahead. Let's deorbit this. Enough to kick off the capsule. And then, let's see if I have enough fuel really to do another prograde burn and return to orbit. So we're going to go back to orbit. We're going to go to retrograde. So that should be an impact. Yep, that would be an impact. So we now need to release. Capsule will go and smash into the moon. We will re-aim prograde. We will go full throttle once more. Actually have quite a bit of fuel. We're almost back to our original orbit. That's really not bad at all. That barely took any effort. Let's see. What if we set this as target? What can we do with this thing? Can I just like wildly change the timing? Nope, it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work out for us. Could possibly blow up the periapse, or the apoapse, I mean. Yeah, let's see if we can't do that. Let's see if that way we can adjust our orbital timing. Check our fuel levels. There we go. See if we can't get that to catch up with us a little sooner. We'll see if we can use that one to deorbit. And then we're just going to be basically watching these for a little while, I think. Unless our Mimas probe is near its maneuver. If you can't tell, I'm totally overusing this probe body. Yeah, still 4 hours. Yeah, that's a good while. Back to a moon focus. Okay. Yeah, let's just watch and see what we have. So what I'm looking for is for this capsule to start to catch up to the station. We can see Nusi's old capsule is currently heading in for its impact. Goodbye, space trash. And if I flip on debris, there's no debris around here to worry about. So we did good deorbiting our booster. So that's good. Nice and clean. That's what I want to see. Right, there goes that capsule. This is painful to watch. You can see our other grabbing unit slowing itself way down by going into a higher orbit. Trying to set itself up with a timing for Tomler's derelict. Cambo's capsule's getting near to where we want to start doing our burn. Ish. You can watch all the network satellites move around. That's kind of cool to see. The polar network makes that really interesting. Alright, almost to where we want to do our burn with Cambo's capsule. Yes, I think this is probably the orbit we want to do this with. In fact, we might be able to come pretty close with the retrieval unit on its as well. Not bad. So let's start planning our rendezvous with the station. Now we're talking. Look at that, 0.1. Alright. 3-second burn. Oh. Let's check out the retrieval unit, see how well we can time off the grabbing of the second stray capsule out there. That one I already took the Kermit out of on our landing mission, our unmanned landing mission that we tested. Actually picked him up on the way back. Just because it was convenient at the time. Ooh, we actually need to do this sooner rather than later. I could adjust our timing with a radial change, and that looks like the thing to do. It's going to make this a much more rapid intercept. We're going to have a lot more cancellation to do, but it will work, and the maneuver is much sooner than the other one, so we're going to do this one first. I kind of sort of missed my window a little bit. It's fine, these things happen. I guess the other grabber will just we'll have it dump its payload and then leave it in a high orbit for next time we have a rescue mission. We'll just have one ready to go because it's going to still have quite a bit of fuel. I could have it latch onto the station, but I just... With all the bugs we have at the station, I just don't want to trust anything else grabbing onto it. Okay, a little bit of correction. Fine-tune it. Ooh, it thinks that's deorbit. That's not good. Have to watch this one carefully. It's gonna have a 0.3 intersect though, so... Oh yeah, because it's on its way to a... Ooh, it's gonna be on its way to an impact by the time it comes up to it. Should be interesting. That one's gonna be a close call. So it has its maneuver in 2 minutes. Should be enough time that we don't have to worry about this other retrieval unit. Orbital mechanics. Having fun with it today. Yeah, we're pretty much at the burn. Oop, I was afraid of that. Lighter burn. A little too lopsided for full throttle. A little bit of correction. Okay. Still a 0.1 intercept, so that's fine. That's in 16 minutes. Other retrieval unit, I think, is going to be before that. Let's double check it. Just to find out. 9 minutes. Yep. So it's going to be coming up on there first. 100 meters a second of correction to the target. So what I'm going to want to do is set a maneuver node. I think last time we said that's what, 8 seconds or so? For about that much. We'll aim retrograde to target. I'm about 4 seconds away from our maneuver for what should be an 8-second burn. Cleaning up the skies. Nice. Disarm, rearm. Let's go grab this sucker. Not leaving any space debris. I gotta launch some of these around Kerbin. Start taking care of all the junk. Still have Nedbo's pod way out there somewhere. And all the orbiter second stages. There you go, putting us right on target. So I'm watching how that prograde marker shifts relative to the target marker. I want it to be dead center on it. We're gonna hit this pretty fast. I think we hit that a little too fast, didn't we? So cancel our movement to target. Was trying to make that on the time crunch. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. It's just space debris. Alright, let's hit that a little slower. Come on. Come on now. Nice and slow. Give me a grabby. Give me a grabby. Grabby, grabby, grabby. There we go. Alright. Now, control from here. Say us on. Retrograde on. Full throttle. Really, I could just try and save this thing for later, but I already have another one that I'm saving, so... Alright, there it goes. Just gonna pile drive this into the ground. Coming up on our intercept with the station now with Cambo's capsule. This one will have much more fuel, so this is the one I'm keeping in orbit. Set a maneuver node. It's only 32 meters a second of adjustment, which is very good. So we won't have much to do to make that one work for us. So about 2 seconds away is where I'm going to start my burn. That might even be too soon. 1 second away. Yeah, that works fine. Back the other way, just do a little correction. Don't need the maneuver node anymore. Beautiful. Once more, bring ourselves close to the station. Allow our Kerman to EVA. Cambo, yet another scientist. A lot of scientists that were stuck in orbit around the moon. Does that make sense? Scientists are usually who I send to the moon. If I wasn't so worried about the station getting all goofy, I really would dock this thing to the front of the station. It would actually look kind of cool. But once the craft here leaves as well, we're going to do another moon mission. Maybe not tonight, probably tomorrow night. just so I can go ahead and correct the orbit of the station as well from its collision, while it doesn't have anything on its on any of its radial ports. It's gonna be the perfect time to go ahead and do that. Station's so pretty. Let's get him just a little closer. Seems kind of mean to make him EVA that far. Let's like right about. Make sure I'm not aiming, so I'm gonna hit anything. I gotta spin the solar panel, so I don't hit the solar panel on anything. Whoop. That was full throttle. That's not what we wanted. Didn't want full throttle. That was a little bizarre. Alright. Try that again. A little discombobulated. Okay. This time we're going to use the shift key, not the Z key. This is how we get into situations where we smash into stations. Alright. Out you go, Cambo. Look at that parking job. That's really not bad. Yeah, that's like zero movement next to the station. That's pretty cool. It has a little bit of movement. Now that I'm not moving, it's easier to see it. It's ever so slightly sliding that way. All right. So I think our little ship over here now. We have Dunson as our pilot for the return. Cambo's on there. Newsy and Tomler are both on there for rescue. We're ready to get that that ship off to Jebediah Kerman Station. It's fully fueled, ready to go. Oh, no, it's not fully fueled. I missed one. How did I miss one? I thought I checked all this. We will refuel it now. While I remember. And I'll put a I'm gonna put a reserve fuel tank and an extra engine on this port now that I have a proper docking port on the Jebediah Kerman Station for it. Just so we can maybe carry more fuel on us. That way we'll be delivering fuel to the Valentina Kerman Station, not consuming it every time we arrive. And that will logistically help us a ton. Alright, and now we are good to depart from the station. Our little probe able to focus on deorbiting the space junk. There we are. Now that we're clear of the station, increasing the throttle. Sure that is fully deorbiting this into an actual impact. It is. Wonderful. To release it. Re-enable SAS. Now aim prograde. Disarm. Bring us back into an orbit. Let's kind of manipulate this one by hand, huh? Put a slightly higher orbit than the station. Make it easier for it to time out catching another rescue pod. If the need arises. I'm actually close enough that we can switch back to the Melted Kermit station and watch it go by. That'll be kind of neat. As long as it doesn't, like, hit the station. Just watching it zip by. There's the space trash. Thoroughly deorbited. Really, we could just, like, correct its orbit right now and dock it with the station if I had really wanted to. But I don't think that's what I'm going to go for. In theory, that would actually mess up our timing later. To get back to the station. It's kind of like already setting us up for failure. If we did that. Alright, it seems like it's a pretty safe distance away. So I'm not worried about that either. It is getting further away now. Now what I can do... Last check of our lovely vehicle we have ready to transfer, which I have not named yet. I need to name this thing. Oh. We're so close it switched us to the capsule and won't let us change back. Okay. Switch to. Try that again. Let us switch to the capsule and then let's switch back to the ship we're actually commanding. Alright, that's better. Now we do have boatloads of RCS. Back away from the station. Make sure we don't cause it any harm. I gotta check these RCS thrusters to see if there's a way I can rebalance them so this is a little easier to control. Flip his right side up so I know which way is up. Odd that I put this radar thing on the top. It's kind of unlike me, but that's what I did. Usually I like to put those on the bottom. Anyway. We now have a return vehicle ready to depart. What we need to do is time it out. seems like the wrong place to make that burn, doesn't it? Seems like a lot of Delta V I have to do. Back in the Kerbin orbit. What I need to do is here, so I'm accelerating ahead of the moon, right? Is that how that works? As little Delta V as possible. Well, there it is. That should do us. Then we have the laborious task of getting the orbit all the way down to a reasonable orbit to re-rendezvous with the station. And I'm like not comfortable at all time warping next to the station. I feel like that's gonna mess everything up somehow. With our full load of rescued Kerman. Now the station still has 3 crew on board. Those are the 3 crew we brought over on the transport, along with our pilot Dunson, that's now flying the 3 rescues back. We brought a pilot, an engineer, and a scientist over to do MUN science. So we still have crew on board to maintain the station and then do another moon landing probably tomorrow night. The pilot there for remote pilot assist. Engineer in case we need an engineer. I don't know what we actually need engineers for. But in moon orbit, realizing you need one and you don't have one is probably not the time you want to figure that out, huh? Let's go ahead and time warp. As cringy as it is, station should be on rails when we're in map mode, I think. My other concern is, are we going to get closer to the station again as part of adjusting our orbit from it? It is entirely possible, because the laws of orbital mechanics, all the rules involved and all the wonderful mathematics, that pushing ourselves away from the station could just cause us to smash back into it on the other half of our orbit. Or upon the completion of our orbit, I should say. And hopefully I'll figure out this takes much less fuel to return to the Kerbin station than it does to get here. Because, like I said, I want to start bringing fuel to the station every trip, rather than consuming it. Because otherwise we're sending tankers ahead of it. It's like kind of double doing, you know, our mission. We're kind of spending the money to send the tank there anyway. It's almost to the point we might as well launch a fresh mission instead of using a transfer vehicle. But on Kerman Station we have tons of fuel. And eventually this will be the opposite case when we're mining. And we'll want to be consuming fuel at this station when it's getting it up from the moon's surface. Cheaper than we can launch it. So, coming up on our maneuver. Time warp just a little faster. Station looks wobbly after that, doesn't it? No, I guess it's fine. Aiming ourselves for our maneuver. It's kind of a sluggish ship to turn if you don't have RCS on. I'd rather save the RCS for the moment. Gonna have a 7-second burn in 3 minutes. We're just gonna fly right by the station. That's gonna be kind of cool. God, what did we say the UI button was? Well, that's gonna be screenshot worthy. Zipping by the station. Wonder if they could see them wave goodbye. A little bit of correction. Nice. Okay. That should do us just fine. Yep, we'll be escaping into a hopefully still prograde orbit. We'll figure that out in a minute. That part I don't understand, the transfer. We're going to switch to the retrieval unit. We're going to circularize its orbit, so it's staying high above the station. Do the auto aim prograde. I missed its circularization maneuver, didn't I? So what I need is a radial change. There we go. Just like that. Nope, stability assist, please. Thank you. No, nope, nope. There we go. Oh, my 4-second burn. I'm picky about the 4-second burns. I need to come up with some kind of provocative image to put on a t-shirt that says 4-second burn. Maybe like marijuana in space, 4-second burn. Who knows? Something. Alright, so now they'll stay in orbit above the station, ready to descend and grab any Kerman that need rescuing, or any space debris that needs to be deorbited. And I can basically set this to hibernate. From there. Sure, it's facing the sun. Sleep, little probe. You've done well today. Rest. Alright, now. And I'm done doing creepiness. Ooh. That's pretty cool. We're on a good time schedule so far still. That actually makes me wonder if I shouldn't this. I shouldn't see if anything is in range to deorbit on our manned claw we currently have in Kerbin orbit. On our 4th Kerbin rescue that we have simultaneously going on right now. with Elwise Kerman. She's just doing some chores before we allow her to land. We got the K-15 G1 refueler debris right there. That's pretty close, actually. I have some debris over here. Ooh. Some of this stuff might be pretty doable, huh? This target. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see how that orbit looks on the next pass. Okay. So, that's going to be us. That's going to be target. So, we need to take longer to get there. So, we need to add maneuver to raise periaps. And, lo and behold, spot on. So, we just need to make sure we do that maneuver. All these maneuvers take a while because this craft has a very weak thrust. And a very loud engine. There's got to be a way to edit the sound files to make that reasonable. Ouch. Why that one engine is deafening, I don't understand. Weakest engine in the game. Most noise. But alright. Might have some inclination difference to correct. We do. That could be part of this difference that we're seeing. So just go ahead and bring it down a little bit. Yep. That gets us into a pretty good intersection right there. So we got a 3-second burn coming up in 3 minutes. Time that out. And this way we can let our return craft just kind of do its thing for a moment. And clean up some debris while we're at it. This craft thankfully has RCS, so handling larger debris shouldn't be a problem. We can more easily control our approach to it and center ourselves directly on it, so we don't have a lopsided center of gravity. Such a weak engine. Alright, so actual intercept, 0.3. Close enough. I'll take it. Let this come around on its orbit while we also monitor our return vehicle. Just look at all the debris we have. Just disheartening how much I have to clean up. And there's more everywhere. We'll get it all. If I don't get any fun contracts, I'm going for all these far out debris, like the orbiters and stuff. The orbiter stages. So we've got 297.7 meters a second of delta V to try and close, which basically means at 35 seconds away from the maneuver, we have to really start burning now. That's disturbing. Use the RCS to help us. It's gonna slide right by us. I'm gonna stand no chance of catching that thing. Alright, let's still go for it. Super powerful engines. Surprised the RCS isn't damaging our solar panels. Okay. So, off by a lot. Let's do this. See what happens. Door intersect. Can we do a super long distance rendezvous in a very similar orbit? Can we do it? Okay, so that's the point of diminishing returns on that. So we're going to wait till we get to that position, and then we're going to start burning relative to target again. First, going retrograde. How many seconds did that take us? It took us quite a few. Right? Relative speed will be 48.8 meters a second. So 48.8 meters a second. I'm just going to do a random direction so I see how much that takes. 48.8 will take us 21 seconds. So 10 seconds from this maneuver, we'll do another correction burn. Retrograde to target. And that should help. Hopefully. So we're waiting for 10 seconds. Okay. Now canceled our movement to target again. Back to the map screen. We're going to aim directly at target again. I'm going to try and fix our next intersect. Once more. Which it still figures. It's going to be 2.4. Okay, 2.3. 2. It's going to be a very gradual process here. Point 1. Should have like a 2-second burn. 5 minutes here. Okay. Pulling this one out of our ass, I guess. There's no nice way to say that, I don't think. Okay. Whoa! I didn't say to do that. I didn't say to do that. Whoa. I think I hit warp while the engines were still on. How's it even happen? Where we're going, Marty, we don't need physics. Well, that completely destroyed our intersect there. We're going to try doing that all over again. But that's alright. Cancel our movement to target. Okay, aim directly at target, full throttle. Try that all over again. Why not? Okay, so now 1.6 was our point of diminishing return. Okay. Throttle's off. We're going to warp to there. 22 meters a second should be fairly quick correction. Retrograde, please. Okay. Alright. Cancel movement to target once more. Just to exact 0. Okay. Go back to aiming at the target. Give it a hit of full throttle. That looks good. Okay, we're just going to be approaching it quickly, so let's aim retrograde so we don't smash into it. And the solar panels to the sun, just to be safe. Keep our electric charge up. So we'll have 13 meters a second this time to correct. And then this is going to be, I think, all the fuel we have on this thing to deorbit this. And L-wise will finally come back safe and happy. Our return craft still isn't in separate Kerbin orbit, which is good. Not wasting any time there. Only wasting time here. K-15G1 refueler debris. I wonder what that actually is. Is that like one of the top tank sections, maybe? That might be the one that I aimed terribly. I think that's probably what that is, because that was in a really weird orbit. So yeah, I think that's just the top piece of the tank that I eject. If it's got the little retro rockets on it, then I'll know for sure that that's the case. Okay, set this sucker to arm. Now we are talking. RCS. This craft does have very well set up as the RCS. Yeah, it looks like this is exactly that. So this is the K-15 tank, one of the refuelers for the Jeb Kerman station. I was not aiming prograde when I fired this when I was supposed to be. Yep, it's got the boosters right there. That's exactly which one that was. I know exactly which instance that was. Slow ourselves down. See if we can that's better. Just go a little bit. Yeah, let's go a little bit that way. That's what I wanted. Okay. More or less what I wanted. Okay, now let's push this off. Let's just... Yes. Yes, that's good. It's very good. RCS back on. Back up just a little bit. Oop. Back to linear mode, please. Look at that, like a pro. Just dead on. Oh, that's not grabbing. Oh, we weren't close enough. There we go. Well, that didn't end up as exact as I intended. Whatever. Yay, wasting all the RCS. Okay. Nearly all of it, anyway. How far are we from the upcoming pass at KSP? Very far. Try to set this up for KSP. KSC, I mean. We're in KSP. We want to get to KSC. And then some KFC for dinner to celebrate. Alright. Almost there. I'm going to start the burn from the desert airfield because it's going to take us a long time to deorbit with this thing. Alright, full throttle. Monopropellant's dead. Thankfully, we have a fairly overpowered ablator for this craft. That was one thing that was pointed out to me. So we don't need like a 200 ablator. We could always opt to cut that down and save weight. Save money, I guess. Man, this is taking a while. Did you bring popcorn to watch this thing descend? Well prepared among us had popcorn for such an event. I really grabbed that crooked. I will give these little engines one thing, they're very efficient. Taking forever to get through the last of that fuel. Finally! My ears are bleeding. Okay. Now. You eject off that. Can also eject off the top section here. And prograde, please. Oh, I don't want to control those. I want to control this. Thank you. Better. Alright. Now we just got to worry about re-entry. Hopefully this parachute isn't sticking out too far to not burn up. That would be bad if it burned up. It might be a little tricky. It might not be much of a rescue. Let's see. But we did deorbit space debris. we go. About to hit the atmosphere. Thankfully, we slowed ourselves down quite a bit. Wow, and I completely had no idea where we were. I thought we were going over the KSC. The KSC is way past these mountains over here. So I'm actually falling way short. About to be a fairly aggressive re-entry then. Just need this parachute not to burn up, and we'll be fine. As long as we don't get a burning parachute. Burning parachutes are bad. Ideally, you want your parachutes unfried. Deep fried parachutes, not a good thing. Now, the only good thing with our steep angle of descent is we did slow ourselves down quite a bit to begin with. So, yeah, we're already coming out of those aerodynamic effects. Brilliant. We are safe to deploy drogues. We're going to be a safe landing after all. I like that the debris has like some aerodynamic properties and just kind of zigzags through the atmosphere during re-entry. I think that's kind of a cool feature. Deploy the main. Drogues are doing quite well. Time warp this in a little bit. Now, one thing you can always do with like a single Kerman crew like this, if you really are so inclined, if my parachute had failed, oh, that's actually a piece of that craft survived. That is amazing. Where's the piece that lived? Oh, no, that wasn't the same piece. That's about to hit still. It hasn't splashed down yet. So I guess those things were both over there? I don't know. Should be a splash coming up. Oh, I guess that wasn't it. Huh. Might have some debris to recover. That might be the claw. Be interesting. But anyway, as I was saying, if this parachute had burned up on re-entry, I could have EVA'd L-wise and then parachuted down, because she does have an individual parachute. I'm not sure which level of the astronaut complex unlocks that, or if something else unlocks that. I have no idea. It's never been clear to me. Or it might just be like from the beginning. You might just have that. I'm really not sure. But I did notice on a recent EVA that I do have the parachute option. All right. Recover the vessel. One rescue contract down. Does this game cost money? It definitely does. It ranges depending when you catch it on sale. Quite a lot. Although I picked it up a long time ago. I picked it up a little more than 4 years ago. I picked it up on early access. It was pretty cheap then. Let's see. Okay, we got our Kerman back. This is interesting. Well, we're going to take this one because this is a win right away. But this one, capture a new E-class asteroid. Bring it to a stable orbit around Ike. I'm not taking that yet. Okay. So now, let's go collect our science from Jeb Kerman Station real quick. Just to say we did it. And that'll close another contract. Excellent. So we just need to return some science data. Where's Bill? Or Bob? Nedbo. Nedbo's in a, yeah, he's in a passenger module. Okay. Transfer him to, something with an EVA hatch. Now I can EVA Nedbo. He will EVA report, even though we've already had it. You can get back in the station. And now I can review it and send it back down. And contract complete. That's a nice easy one. So just got a little bonus for having our space station right there. Now our return to Kerbin vehicle. Where is that right now? I'll switch to it. This is the linchpin for nailing our other 3 rescue contracts today. And then also a buttload of science to put on the station and research on the station. That should be pretty neat. We are still like 3 hours away from this. Do I want to time warp that much? Not yet. I want to go to our Minmus probe. Minmus probe should have its maneuver coming up first. Actually coming fairly close. Start bringing its orbit something more manageable. So Minmus probe. Yes, that's more like it. So we want to do a retrograde maneuver. We do want to do. Want to do the polar contract, or do we want to do equatorial contract? Polar contract will be more useful for getting these scans, I think. So we want polar or at least high inclination. So let's do. Let's see. Doesn't really do what we want it to do, does it? So change the radial, maybe? Kind of guessing at this one, to be honest with everyone. Yep, that maneuver doesn't want to do what I think it should do. Go to a different galaxy, please, if possible. It is not possible, unfortunately. We only get the one. All this is, it's more like a, what do I want to say, like space program simulator than a traditional sci-fi universe, more like a science fact universe, just with little green men. Let's see. So bring that way down, maybe. Okay, this is just not doing what I think it should do at all. Let's start with retrograde then. Start with a stable orbit. That was my original intent to begin with. At high inclination, which would actually be good for these scans, if I can get them. Let's not just go too crazy with it now. And then after that, I'll focus on trying to do the inclination change. I guess I could intelligently try to do that in an ascending node or a descending node, like I'm supposed to do, and stop being foolish. That would probably be the whole reason I'm struggling at all right now anyway. Descending node. Descending node. There we go. Now we can do that. Now we can do this. And then everything makes sense again. Sorta, kinda. More prograde, perhaps? Yes. Yes. Now we're talking. So we want to do that. Oh, and it's... Really? It's retrograde. Okay, we're not doing that one. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. I refuse completely. Okay, done playing with maneuvers. We're gonna warp to the maneuver. Bye, Dad. That's the first one for me. Warp here. Better. Maybe just a little further. There we go. Maneuver node. Retrograde. Only a 2-second burn. No wonder this is so hard to control. Just not enough gravity to resist what we're doing. There we are. Oh, I overshot it. How the heck did I overshoot it? Well, it's not a big deal. We're in an orbit. Descending node would be right here. That's 1 hour away. Much easier to control this one, huh? Alright. Make sure we get that just level. Yeah. I think my timing's off a little bit. It's just... Yeah, that should do. Let's warp there.